Deps Cover Scat a shot. This is the 3.5 inch in the shad color. So it's got like a blue and like a yellowish, a pale yellow, almost whitish belly with gold and silver flake in there. Ooh, fish on! Fish on! Nice! Nice! I thought I felt some weight on there, but I wasn't sure because I didn't feel like a hit. And it's a little guy. Hold still. I'll get you taken care of, dude. Clean hook set. And the bottom jaw, but not gut hooked. There we go. Little guy. Nailed the Deps Cover Scat. And well, dude, let's see. Clear you a spot. All right, I guess you're ready, huh? And he's off to the races. That was a nice hit. I was taking up the slack, and I kind of felt some weight, so I stopped. I eased off for a second, and I looked at my line. And then my line went slack again when I lowered my rod tip. So I thought, well, maybe I was caught on some brush or something like that. So I started taking up my slack again, and there was weight on the end of it. So I took out the remaining slack and gave it a little hook set, and he was on. He was on. Whoa. Fish on. There we go. There we go. Well, buddy, another little. And you shook my Deps Cover Scat, dude. That wasn't very nice of you. How you gonna do that to the guy that's trying to help you out and get this hook out your mouth? That's very rude. Another little guy. All these littles. Go get your mama. Go get your mama. You go when you're ready. Well, you're gonna have to splash the heck out of me. Little ones always got something to prove. Alright, let's go and get another Deps Cover Scat or a Yamatanuki. Seems like that's the way to go today. And they're hitting it on the fall. Not long, like very shortly after it hits the water is when they're tapping it, in most cases. Ooh, fish on. Oh, man. Whoa! Oh, Lord! Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. I got you. I got you. Come on, sweet pea. Oh, yes. I needed you. I needed you. Oh, my goodness. All right. He's coming up with all this salad, too. Oh, shoot. My line broke right here. That means he got a hook in his mouth. Dadgummit. My line snapped. All that weight. Ah. All that weight of the salad. Son of a gun. Oh. Oh, man. Oh. I hate when that happens. Now he's got that hook in him. He was a monster. She was a monster. Dadgummit. Oh. So now, I don't know what it was, but it looked decent. I ain't caught a decent fish in a while, so my eyes say it was a 5, but it was probably more like a 3 or 4, but we'll never know. Oh. I need to start carrying a net. Problem is, you get all that salad with it, and but at least you don't lose the fish, and you can get the hook out of the fish's mouth. That's what I'm most concerned about. I want to get that. I don't like that hook being in its mouth. Now I'm running 10 or 12 pound test on this. I forget which, but the problem is you got all that salad weighing the fish down. The fish is fighting, and I was trying to hold them still so I could get a clean grab on them. On her. Something got a hold of it? I think so. Oh, yes. Oh, that feels like a nice one. Yep. It ain't as big as that last one, I don't think. But it's a nice size fish. Come on, baby. Stay on. Stay on. Come on, Daddy will take care of you. Just come on over here. Now, I'm going to get down on my knees. There's the fish. Yeah, you ain't as big as that last one. Of course. Oh, why wouldn't you be all tangled up in crap? There we go. That's a 2. Definitely not as big as that last one. That last one, I'll say it was probably a 3. You can go when you're ready, dude. Well, I guess you're ready, huh? Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I'll take fish that size all day long. I don't mind it at all. I just don't like pulling up 18 pounds of salad. But certain lakes and certain times of year, it's kind of unavoidable. And I learned from my mistakes, right? So the first time I was trying to pull it closer and pull on the line and get it closer. This time I got down on my knees and kind of kept the tension off the line a little bit more and pulled it along the water more level rather than up, right? And that allowed me to get a handle on the fish. And then he was hooked pretty deep, and he was gut hooked a little bit, so I had to get that out of him, but I was able to get that out fairly quickly. Hopefully he'll be all right. I don't like when they get gut hooked because their chance of survival goes down a bit. But I tore up my Yamatanuki, but let's see if I can reverse it and go the other way here and get one more catch on it. Tore up my Yamatanuki, but when they get gut hooked, a lot of times their chance of survival goes down a bit. But I still feel like getting the hook out of them and trying to give them as quick and as calm a release, you know, letting them go, not throwing them in the water. I hate throwing them in the water. And yeah, maybe there's some instances where you kind of are limited with the bank access and you have to, you know, I get it. But I always try to avoid that wherever possible. Set the fish in the water level and hold on to their bottom lip, and then I kind of let go with my fingers and just have my thumb there in their mouth, and they'll hold on to your thumb until they're ready to go. Sometimes I gotta tell them, not that they listen to me, but sometimes I gotta tell them, look dude, you're free to go, you just let go of my thumb, right? It's not a sausage. But I always try and give them as clean a release as possible. And I feel that gives them the best chance. Will some of them, if they're gut hooked, not survive? Yeah, probably, right? You hate seeing that. But it's part of what comes with it. Sometimes it's unavoidable. If you're out here fishing, you know, sometimes that's all you can do. Sometimes it takes longer to get the hook out of them. You know, it's just, sometimes they're just hooked bad. You know, or they get hooked in the gill and they're bleeding, and you know, you try to avoid it wherever you can, but when you're fishing, sometimes that's going to happen, right? You can't hold it and tell them exactly where to bite the hook nice and clean every time, right? That's not how it works. So I always try and give them the cleanest release that I can. Do I have them out of the water a little longer sometimes than I would like? Yes, right? But I also want to get that hook out of them. I don't want to send them back in with a hook. I've caught a few fish here that had 2 and 3 hooks in their throat, and you could tell that they were underweight because they weren't able to eat properly because they got hooks blocking their throat and obstructing their ability to eat, right? So I had one last year right across the way over there in that little clearing. I was in the water and he was just hanging out right by me and didn't scatter when I went in the water. And I'm like, what the heck? And I reached down, grabbed his tail, slid my hand under his belly, lifted him out of the water, and he had an EWG gut hooked. and he just let me take it out of him. And then when I went to put him back in the water, he was like, I'm free, and you know, flippered around and got out of my hand and went back in the water and took off. So, you know, when they got hooks in them and everything, it can bother them, it can impact them. And you know what? Sadly, if they die, guess what? They're going to feed snapping turtles. They're going to feed osprey. Or, you know, if it's a smaller one, maybe a blue heron or something. You try to give it the best chance of survival that you can, right? But this ain't a perfect world, right? So, you know, I see people all the time talking about, oh, they comment on other people's videos. I've had a couple of people comment on mine. You had them out of the water too long. Oh, way too long. Oh, that fish is going to die. You know what? Hey, maybe if you're perfect, you never make a mistake. You never gut hook a fish. You never have a fish out of the water too long. You're just perfect and you walk on water. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. Maybe my videos aren't for you. Maybe you need to find a different channel, right? If you're that kind of person and needs to find a problem with everything, I'm here to tell you, guess what? You ain't perfect either, right? And I don't really care. I try to do the best I can for the fish. Do things happen sometimes? Yes. That I would rather not? Yes. Do I keep them out of the water a little too long sometimes? Yes. Do they get gut hooked or have a bad chance of survival? Yes. But I do everything I can to make sure that I give them the best release possible and the best chance of survival. And, you know, that's the long and short of it. Now, I'm hearing thunder, so this is probably going to be my last cast of the day. I had 4 bites. I landed 3 fish. I had one pop my line right here. And let's see if I can get one more on this last cast before the thunder rolls again. Because you don't really want to be holding a carbon fiber rod if there's lightning. You ever seen that before? Search that on YouTube. It's not a fun experience. Something's on. Ooh! Oh, he let go. Had to be a little. Had to be a little. Had to be a little, because he grabbed it and he started running with it. And then he was off right after I set the hook. Like I was tension when I set the hook, but he probably didn't have it in his mouth all the way. Alright. Because of that, I'll give it one more cast. And this is it. Something's tapping it again. Go ahead, take it. Take it. Ah! Again. Spit the hook. It's gotta be a little. He ain't getting the whole thing in his mouth. And my Yamatanuki just came off. Alright. Well. I'm not putting another Yamatanuki on right now. That's gonna be it for today, folks. But hey, you know, part of why I do this channel is to let y'all know you don't have to be perfect to go out and fish, right? You do the best you can. You try to learn new stuff every time you go out. You try to learn new stuff in between. Don't be afraid to try things that maybe aren't textbook or aren't the way everybody quote unquote says you should do it. And you do the best you can to give the fish a clean release and let them get on with their lives, right? Is it going to happen perfect every time? Absolutely not, right? But don't listen to the naysayers and the negative people that always have to find fault with stuff. If you like a digital control reel because it helps you be able to use a bait casting reel and get you over that hump and kind of learn the technique a little bit, go for it, right? If you like the Svivlo reel that has a mechanical braking system that senses if the lure is pulling on the line and pulling the spool, or if the spool is overrunning the lure and then it slows down the spool, and you like using that, fine, right? Use the gear that makes you happy. Somebody else don't like it, that's on them. They don't have to buy it. They don't have to use it, right? They can keep doing things the way they want to do it, right? But they wouldn't sell this stuff if people didn't use it and if people didn't find value in it, right? Is every piece of gear that you try gonna be perfect? Absolutely not. Doesn't have to be, right? But sometimes if you're struggling to learn how to use a bait caster and you're out there practicing like I was, sometimes in my case that DC reel was what got me over the hump. And once I got comfortable casting with that, I was able to use non-DC bait casters, okay? And now I'm probably gonna try to pick up. They're hard to find in stock, and when they are, they're not there long. But I'm gonna try to find the Abu Garcia came out with the Revo. I think it's the Revo X and the Revo XS Voltique or Volt IQ, right? That's how I say it, because when you look at it, the IQ I think is capitalized. So it's Volt IQ is how I say it, and it is their version of a DC reel. But as opposed to the Shimano DC reels that only have 4 settings or 5 settings for the braking, and it tells you which one to put it on based on the type of line that you're using, or some of them, I think like the Metanium has an automatic and a 1, 2, 3, 4, an auto and 1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to that, the Volt IQ has a 10-step braking system, and that 10-step braking system goes from 10, like if you need the most help, down to 1, 2, and 3 are called their quote-unquote pro settings, right? So it should have a lot more adjustment to it with their digital control reel, and so I'm looking forward to trying them. Hopefully I can get my hands on one later this summer and give it a try. But like I said, they've been hard to come by and everything, and I've had some other priorities money-wise, so I didn't want to put that money out just yet. But use the gear that you find helpful to you. Don't let anyone else tell you that it's garbage. If you find value in it, or if it's helping you, and if you're having fun and catching fish, that's what it's all about, right? And do your best to always return the fish to the water as healthily as possible and with as little stress on them as possible, right? Every situation is going to be a little bit different, and sometimes things are going to happen that you can't do anything about, but you do the best you can to get them back in the water and released as safely as possible. All right, with that, thank you guys for tuning in to Whiskey Tango Fishing. Apologize for the rant, but I've been seeing a lot of that negativity lately, and you know, people commenting on stuff. You know, somebody owns a tackle shop near here, you know, had posted a video, and guy caught this striper, and right away people are saying, oh, you had it out of the water way too long, and I know where that is. You threw that fish in the water. You killed it when you threw it in the water. And somebody commented, said, no, he had a basket net. He lowered it back down. And they weren't there, but they were saying he was lying, right? If you weren't there, you can't say they were lying, right? So don't even comment on it. But you got these trolls that like to comment negative stuff and find something wrong with everything. Hey, go get another hobby, right? If you're that kind of person, then my channel ain't for you, right? I'm doing what I do because I enjoy it and because I hope people find it entertaining. And if they don't, I'm still going to do it because I have fun doing it, right? I'm not negative. So you guys take that for what it's worth, and I will catch you next time on Whiskey Tango Fishing.